What's happening, my Jacked family? Coach Scott here, jackedafter40.com. Today's video, I'm going to share the best exercises for men over 40. It's a topic I always find fascinating because whenever I do a YouTube search for the best exercises for men over 40 or the worst exercises that men over 40 should avoid, I find they contradict each other. One video will say that men over 40 should definitely do bench pressing in order to build a massive chest. Another video will say men over 40 should never bench press, it's going to wreck your shoulders. One video will say the deadlift is the best exercise men over 40 can do because it works all the muscles in your body, gives you the most bang for your buck. Another video will say deadlifting is the worst exercise you can do if you're a man over 40. It's gonna put strain on your lower back, it can ruin your knees. It's just an awful exercise where the risk is not worth the reward. But the truth is, the best exercises for men over 40 are the ones that feel good to you. And hopefully, for each muscle group, there's a wide variety of exercises that feel good to you. If you agree with that, please smash that thumbs up button and drop a comment down below to let me know your thoughts on this, if you are in agreement with me here. There is a little bit of a caveat, we'll get to that in a moment. Right now, I'd like to share a great conversation that I had with one of my Jacked After 40 coaching clients earlier this week. He mentioned that he's finally starting to feel the abuse that he's put his body through, spending decades under the bar. And exercises like the deadlift are difficult for him, kind of bothers his lower back, and exercises like the squat can at times bother his knees. And I kind of shared how in this past year, I've been kind of toying around with the idea of never deadlifting and squatting again. I reintroduced the deadlift into my training for about 2 months in the early fall this year, and it was feeling pretty good at first, and then I started just feeling tight, little niggles here and there, little old injuries from the past kind of resurfacing once again. And there was a couple times with the squat where I wasn't feeling comfortable with the load on my back, and I thought, you know what, if I'm not feeling comfortable with these exercises, I found that I was very timid whenever I was deadlifting, or especially when I was squatting. I feel really timid under the bar there. I feel like I couldn't challenge myself the way I wanted to challenge myself. I wasn't focused, like mentally in my head. There was worry, there was concern. I would stop myself short. I would sell myself short with the movements. But here's the caveat. Just because the squat and deadlift doesn't feel good to me right now doesn't mean that the squat and deadlift is bad for me. It could just be that I need to make some subtle little adjustments to my technique to improve how I perform that movement. I've gone through this in the past where the squat just didn't, I was squatting great. I was lifting some heavy weight, technique was awesome, ass to grass, everything felt good. Then I just started playing around with the technique, kind of lost my form, was just listening to other cues and stuff from other coaches out there, and my squat went to crap, basically, and started leading to some little issues in my hips and quads. But then I just lowered the weight, reduced the weight, got back to kind of mastering the technique, mastering the form, going nice and slow and controlled, and built myself back up again where the squat felt absolutely incredible. So it may just be a matter of me right now just reducing the weight, getting back to the basics, just experimenting with technique and getting back to what has felt good for me in the past. Same with the deadlift, gotta make sure that I'm checking my ego at the door, going with a stance and a lift that feels good to me. For me, I like the sumo lift. I really love the trap bar deadlift. So it could very well just be kind of just making some subtle little adjustments to my technique with the movement pattern. The other caveat is that there could be an underlying issue that has nothing to do with the squat or deadlift. At the time that the squat wasn't feeling good to me, I noticed that my right glute was really tight, the outer aspect of my thigh, the IT band, TFL was really tight there, and I also noticed that my adductor in that thigh was really weak. So I might just need to address those issues, do some self-massage, some foam rolling on the outer aspect of my thigh, and build up the strength of my adductor, the inner thigh of my right leg, and that may be the difference maker in of itself. I could run the risk of avoiding an exercise that does have great benefits simply because of an underlying issue that had nothing to do with the exercises in the first place. It may be how I slept. It may be I play hockey. It could have been something that I aggravated there. It could just be, I mean, there could be multiple reasons why we develop these tightnesses, imbalances. It's a big reason. I recently shared a video on single leg exercises, the benefits of those, and one of those is addressing muscle weaknesses, muscle imbalances. It's a huge, should make up a good component of your overall leg training. Same goes for all body parts as well. I'm just using the squat and deadlift as an example right now because it was what my client and I were recently discussing there. And oftentimes, a lot of these issues where an exercise doesn't feel so good to us can be addressed with a proper workout structure. Beginning your workout with a good warm-up, like it doesn't have to take too long, 5 to 10 minutes. For upper body, maybe some band over back, some band pull apart, some basically shoulder mobility drills. For lower body, maybe some hip swings, some dynamic stretches. And then starting your workout off with a high rep, lightweight isolation exercise where you can enhance that mind-muscle connection, get some nutrient-rich blood flowing to that muscle, kind of prime those muscles for the movements to come. When you get to those bigger lifts, making sure that you perform multiple workup sets before you get yourself up to that working weight. So starting nice and light, doing just a few reps. You're not going anywhere near failure, just trying to really get in a good groove with the movement pattern. Again, getting those neurons firing and just getting that nutrient-rich blood. Once again, firing to those, pumping to those muscles there. That's, I think, the biggest mistake that I see a lot of guys make. They just don't do any of these workup sets. So for me, a lot of times, if it's going to be the bench press, some sort of leg press or squatting movement, I'm going to do 3, maybe 4 sets. Not many reps. It's going to be lighter weight, kind of building things up of anywhere between 4 and 6 repetitions. So I'm stopping well short of failure. But again, it's just getting a feel for that weight, working myself up to the weight that I'm actually going to lift for the 3 working sets or whatever it's going to be for that exercise for that day. Another reason an exercise may not feel good to you may be because you're going too heavy. Research has shown that lifting lighter weights for higher repetitions is just as effective for building muscle as the heavier lower rep sets. So don't be afraid to make that adjustment. Just because if an exercise isn't feeling good to you, reduce the weight. Perform 12, 15, 20 repetitions. See how that feels. Don't rush through the movement. Slow it down and control the exercise. Really making sure that you feel the tension in your target muscle. And that, to me, that is the most important factor when it comes to getting jacked after 40. Us men over 40, really focusing on enhancing our mind-muscle connection. Check your ego at the door. Our years of trying to progress in weight, lift more and more weight, they're, I'd say, for most of us, behind us. There are much better ways for us men over 40 to progress in the weight room. We can, again, enhancing that mind-muscle connection will create greater tension on the target muscle. Steer some of that tension away from the joint so you feel it where you're supposed to be feeling it, getting more bang for your buck from every rep that you perform. Chances are a lot of the niggles and little reoccurring injuries that we've been experiencing today are the result of ego lifting from our teens and early 20s. When we were chasing numbers, we weren't doing any kind of warm-ups, we weren't training smart, it was all about adding more weight to the bar. So let's make up for those mistakes that we made there. Listen to our bodies right now, train smarter, go for it, the feel more than anything. And again, feeling good, doing exercises for the most part that feel good to you, and exercises that don't feel so good to you, try to make some improvements, modify them in a way that maybe you can enjoy more. And if you've already tried all these tips, you've gone lighter, you've tried to improve your form and technique, and the exercise still isn't feeling good to you, the great news is there are countless other exercises that you could substitute in their place. There's no reason why you have to do an exercise that doesn't feel good to you. For example, with the deadlift, I would much rather perform different variations of the Romanian deadlift. I love the barbell Romanian deadlift, the dumbbell Romanian deadlift even better. I find great exercises like the 45-degree hyperextension can really hit my hamstrings and glutes just as effectively. There's no weight there at all. If I want to go heavier and kind of enjoy some of that feeling that I got from the deadlift, I could do some rack pulls where you're not having to go down so low. There's less involvement of the lower back, or it's just it's just a different option that you could throw in there. Squat, if you don't want to squat, again, there's so many different exercises that are similar. You can first of all try a hack squat machine. To me, I like the reverse V squat machine, feels pretty darn good to me. If you don't even have to do any kind of variations of those squats, I actually like the dumbbell deficit squat. Has been feeling really, really good for me. There's no strain on my lower back. There's no load on my spine. A goblet squat can be really good, although that can be a little uncomfortable when you get heavier weights. It can aggravate your shoulders if you're not careful with that. But there's other options, leg pressing, various different forms of split squats and lunges. We have so many different exercises available to us. There's no reason why we have to do exercises that we don't enjoy, because it could be like me where you'd feel timid, you don't give your best effort to those exercises, when instead you could perform an exercise that is still going to allow you to develop that muscle group probably even better because you enjoy it, it feels good to you, you're going to give your best effort and focus to that exercise. So don't feel stuck performing exercises just because one video, one guru says this is a must-do exercise for men over 40. There are no must-do exercises. There are no exercises that you absolutely need to avoid. Because here's the thing, us men over 40, we're all different. We've all gone through different experiences. We've all abused our bodies in different ways over the years. But there's some of us over 40, some of us over 50 and over 60 who are experiencing no niggles, no injuries, and they are strong as hell. They can overhead press just fine. No issues at all. No shoulder issues, no hip issues, no knee issues. God bless you. That is awesome. You've done something right all these years. Keep rolling with it. Just because some video or some guru says you should be avoiding certain exercises, if it feels good to you, do that freaking exercise. Go for it. Again, it's all got to do with doing what feels good to you. But just as important is taking care of your body outside of the gym, doing self-massage, getting adequate sleep, fueling your body with proper food, and proper stress management as well. It's amazing how going into the gym stressed can really kind of put you at risk while you're lifting. So be smart with your training. If you walk into the gym, you're stressed out, you didn't sleep well, you're feeling weak, you're feeling tired, there's no need to push your body to its limits. Don't be afraid to kind of back off that day. It's, again, train smart, listen to your body. That's the key for us men over 40, staying in this game for the long term, having fun, and enjoying every step of the process. I hope this message resonated with you. If it did, please drop a comment down below and let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Hope you have yourself an absolutely amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video.